Morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. I hope it finds you well out there as we're all waiting. What could possibly be happening in Jackson Hole, Wyoming this week? And while we wait for that, nothing else really seems to matter very much. But there's still plenty of economic data to talk about. What is truce, no truce in Ukraine? There's been a lot of talk. We'll see what happens. Speaking of talking, big meeting tomorrow in Phoenix. Listen, I need you guys to RSVP. Let us know how many people you're going to be bringing. This is going to be a great meeting. If you want to bring some people that are on the fence, it's this obviously for Texit. Sorry, I guess I should have said that. 5:30 to 8 p.m. Barrio Brewing. It's actually inside of the airport at the Deer Valley Airport, inside the main building there. 7th Avenue in Deer Valley. There's a traffic light right there. You drive into the airport. It's the building straight ahead. Unfortunately, they don't let you go straight ahead. You can go left or right into the parking lot, but it's that older looking building straight ahead. But they've got a great place there. The food's not bad. You know what? We're going to feed you. We're going to feed you 5:30 to 6 o'clock. The meeting will start promptly at 6 o'clock. Just to let everyone know how this is going to go down. The very first thing we're going to do is sell some Texit coin. Yep. I'm going to do it right in front of everybody. For those out there that are worried, well, this is too good to be true, we're going to do it. We're going to show it to you. And we're going to do that first. So we can show you the process. Do we expect you guys to remember it? No. But we want you to see it. So you can understand, hey, oh, yeah, okay. We can do it. I got to learn how to do it. But you'll have seen it once. Obviously, we'll have more meetings that will do this. This one, though, we're gonna get all the way through it. We're gonna no questions, no comment. We're just gonna go right through the process, and then we'll circle back and start talking about, okay, here's the steps that everybody needs to do this, and we're gonna get out of there promptly at 8 p.m. For those of you that have maybe some other question, come early, right? So food starts at 5:30. My wife and I will be there, 5:15 at the latest, setting up. But during food hour or that food half hour, if you have some questions, we can help you do that. If you have people you want to sign up, that would obviously before would be great. Afterwards, we can help you do that as well. For those of you in Colorado, Colorado, you guys have those meetings all the time. We'll also introduce to you two people that are under me here in Phoenix that are going to start having introductory meetings. People will have questions about dashboards. They'll have questions about signing people up. They'll have questions about, hey, how do I get onto Coinbase, or how do I get onto Kraken? How do I sell? So we're going to expand the team so we can have more meetings more frequently and in smaller groups. Obviously, it's going to be a big group. That's why. So please, let us know, because obviously we want to make sure that we have enough food to feed everybody, but not enough food, not too much food where, there's a bunch left over. It was perfect last time. You guys were great. Call us here at Patriot, 800-951-0592 to let us know if you're going to be attending and how many you're going to bring. This will be a great one to bring people to, because, this is, let's face it, at the end of the day, this is the most important step. How do I capitalize? It's great that my phone says I've got 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 Texas coin, but how do I actually turn that into money into my bank account? So that's what we're going to be doing this Wednesday. Another quick Texas note to streamline operations between Arizona and Colorado. Everything will now come through the Phoenix office. So whether you signed up with Jason or signed up with me, it no longer matters. Call the Phoenix office at 800-951-0592. That's the sign up. That's to add people under you. Questions. Hey, I don't know what to do. This happened, that happened. We're going to streamline the entire Texas operation. We're going to do it through the Phoenix office. That starts ASAP, so starting right now. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. Again, everyone waiting for Jackson Hole. What will Jay Powell hint at as far as rate cuts go? Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said they're going to start interviewing for Jay Powell's replacement. Remember, his term ends in May of next year. We'll see if he makes it that far. But they will start interviewing people after Labor Day. A quick look at the markets. It's mixed. So the Dow's up 70. The S&P's down 20. The Nasdaq's down 227. The 10-year note 431, so down a little bit from yesterday. Oil's a little lower. Gold's a little lower. Right now, 33.25 on gold. Silver, a little lower, 37.35. Again, I think everybody's just kind of waiting. Let's wait. Let's see what's going to happen. We did get a little bit of economic data out today, starting with Home Depot. They missed, but not bad. It was close. They didn't change guidance for the year, so I guess that was a positive. But they missed the number by a little bit, but not enough to really move the market one way or the other. And then we had housing starts, and this is, I don't think this will shock anybody. Housing starts and permits mixed. Starts for July up 5.2%. Now that was better, right, than expected, and June was good too. Same thing, 5+. However, the unfortunate part about it is they were all for apartment buildings. Declining 4 months in a row now, declining permits. That is the most forward-looking indicator. Now at the lowest since the COVID lockdowns. Multifamily units. Now these are permits. Okay, so this is, in other words, I'm going to start building. So starts up, mostly because they started building apartments. Permits, in other words, okay, I started those you know how it takes, like, hey, I file a permit today and maybe in 3 months or 6 months I can start building. Right, depending on where you're trying to do it in the city and all that, and you know the game. Permits for multifamily down 10%. Wow. That was quite a number. Obviously, permits for homes, yeah, there aren't any. Well, there are some. I shouldn't say there aren't any, but nobody wants to build a home right now. So, Jason, it is interesting. Multifamily starts the highest since June of 23. The pipeline, they're saying, is in U.S. home construction, hopelessly clogged. Completions of new homes hit a 3-year low. Builders are essentially holding off completing current units rather than finishing them and having them go to market. So, Jason, I don't think a surprise really at all when the housing starts. You know, obviously, hey, we're going to build apartments. We don't want to build homes. And I think they're hoping that rate cuts can maybe save them.
Yeah, well, as we've been hearing that, and lowering rates can help the bottom line of some big stocks, right, Joe? It gets money flowing, and it's a temporary fix, and then more money has to be spent. And right now, 0% is kind of the lowest you can go. The negative interest rates thing has been tried. I think they tried that in Japan for a little bit. You can't do that with physical currency, so they're not there yet. I think that's ultimately what they want, Joe. They need to kick the can down the road. They're going to tell. We always got the gloom and doom about the markets, right? So it's always going to buckle the end of the dollar. You know, the dollar is dead already. Isn't the dollar dead already? There's just no alternatives. There's very few alternatives. That's why we sell gold and silver. There are alternatives. They're just not popular. You know, you can't just take a lump of gold over to your friend, or you can't go take a 10th-ounce gold eagle and go grocery shopping, right? It's a little different. You got to figure out how to make your money go farther. And so if dollars aren't going away and they want to keep this thing going, they got to come up with new contraptions, new ideas to force it down our throat. And Joe, I mean, it's broken. Joe's been on here every day. Lower rates, right? Inflation goes up. Lower rates, inflation goes up. Inflation goes down, the rates can go up, but then all we have is inflation. So you're supposed to keep the rates up. So they want to print money and hope that the inflation goes away. It's not going to happen. So, Joe, to me, the next phase is going to be somehow to take the cash, take the physical money out somehow. I don't know if that'll actually be achievable. Maybe make cash very expensive, and then go to negative rates. That's how that's where the system goes. If there was a competing currency, if there was actually enemy nations trying to do a new currency, the gold dinar, to free Africa, you know, maybe if that would exist, we'd have an alternative. Can you imagine if we could be on dinars right now, Joe? Let's just say that nobody blew each other up, and suddenly the whole world is trading on the gold dinar, right? That'd probably be happening by now if you didn't blow up the competition. So we're stuck with dollars that are horrible. It's like prison currency, because you have no other choice, right? But they're going to keep shoving it down our throat forever and ever. We're the banks, and we own you, and you're going to use these dollars. Well, I'm going to go to use yen. Well, the yen's tied to the dollar, so that's the dollar. Well, I'm going to go to euros. No, that's tied to the dollar. You have no choice, right? And it just gets worse and worse, Joe. That's why you can't be tied up. And it's funny how much people want dollars. You know, you watch the movies, it's all about briefcases full of money, and everyone's killing each other for money in the movies. When all the richest dudes in the world, they have assets, right, Joe? They own stuff. But I don't know. You know, don't listen to us. Don't buy gold. Nobody's been buying gold from us very much lately. Don't buy gold. Great.
Don't buy it.
Great idea.
That's right.
Great idea.
I'll tell you what. Wait till next year and buy it for more. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good plan.
Let it sit in your bank account and see what it can buy for you next year.
Right. why pay less when you can pay more, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing. And then you can blame it on inflation.
Yeah.
You can blame – that's right.
It's not my fault I can't buy stuff. The banks did it to me. Well, yeah, they did it to you, and you allowed it to happen. You didn't buy gold. that's your savings is in gold, guys. Investment can be Texacoin or something else. Your savings, the money sitting around, you got to have some money sitting around. You know, Joe, here's one of the reasons you want to have money sitting around. You shouldn't always be fully invested. You should have a chunk of money saved, right? Because, Joe, guess what? What if the next Texacoin pops up and Joe and I are in there and say, hey, guess what, guys? We got another one. Well, if you got it all tied up in other investments and you have no savings, you won't be able to jump all over this. The reason Texacoin has done so well for our listeners, Joe, is our customers had gold sitting around. They had savings. They were able to employ that asset at that time that we went on the air and said, here's something that's good for you guys. Gold is vital for savings, Joe. You got to have it sitting around. You got to have it in your control, Joe.
Yeah, I don't get it. Listen, $20 gold pieces, they're still $33.95. $10 pieces, they're still $1,700. I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, gold's just sitting here waiting for the Fed to finally admit we don't care about inflation. That's what a rate cut is. So listen, all these interviews that they're going to be doing, who are they interviewing? We're interviewing people that want to cut rates, period. And not by a little bit. What does that mean? See, and you know what? You know what the stupid people do? Right? They love it. Yeah, look at Trump go. You have no idea what you're asking for. I'll be honest. There's not a good choice. So what this bad choice is as good as any other bad choice, I guess. Inflation hasn't gone away. You know that. I know. And it doesn't matter if Donald Trump says it has. He also says we're collecting trillions of dollars from tariffs. No, it's not even close to true. I wish that was true. Right? That would be awesome. But it's not. And they know what they're doing. Have you seen your electric bill? Yeah. People don't want to admit it. That's okay. It's okay. How about Home Depot today? They missed earnings. You know what else they said? Oh, yeah, we are raising prices. Right? I didn't see Donald Trump harass them. Did you? How about John Deere today? Oh, we got to lay people off. Why? Well, we're not selling that many tractors. Plus, oh, wait, and we got to raise prices. Look at homes. Why can't you buy a home? Well, gosh, I can't afford it. Well, why don't they homeowners, or home buyers, builders, just sell it for less? And they're like, we are. We are. We give you a deal on the interest rate. Right? We give all these incentives. We still can't, because guess what? Can't sell it for less than what it costs to build it. Right? We won't be around very much longer. How about today? Went out of Japan today. Is anyone going to be shocked by this one? They're going to launch their first yen-based stablecoin. Yep. Here it comes. Here it comes. The flood of printing money is back again, whether you can afford it or not. Listen, this isn't a maybe. This isn't a guess. These are just facts. They're going to here's the plan. I want you to think about this. I know, listen, and I like Trump. I love it. I do. I voted for him 3 times. I'd vote for him a 4th time. But guess what, guys? Here's the plan they picked. Here's the one great thing. You know what? We know what the plan is. He makes no bones about it. Right? I want the rates cut, and I want them cut. You know what? He's got Scott Bassett saying they want the Fed funds rate at 1.5%. Donald Trump wants them at 1%. They're going to get it. And they will hire the person to do it. They're literally telling you, we're going to try to create more inflation. Now, they'll call it economic growth. That's fine. It's inflation, period. Things are going to cost more. and then they'll call it growth. Here's the sad part. The little bit of interest you've been getting for this little while, they're going to take it all away from you now, right? I mean, we're going right back to where we were. Rates at zero, near zero, right? No one pays interest. There's nowhere to put your money. You got to be risky, right? You have to jump into an overpriced Wall Street, right? And they're talking about digital this and digital that. And it's going to be this process where the amount of money they have to print to get the growth is being sky high gold and silver prices. We'll be back. I got some text coming in. We'll answer those questions right after this. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. We had a couple of texters text in. I guess this kind of being a regular thing, so I'll start paying attention to this. If you guys want to text on the Patriot Show, 877-536-1360. Most people are out of money, so precious metals and crypto sales fall. Yeah, precious metal sales are slowed. Crypto, not so much. And again, so for somebody listening, there's plenty. This is a big show. We've been doing this a long time. There's plenty of people that have this money sitting in the bank. I don't understand it. I mean, they're telling you they want to devalue the hell out of it. That's just what they're telling. I'm not saying it. The president and the Treasury Secretary are the ones saying it, and you've got a lame duck head of the Fed. Worst case scenario, he's out of there in May. It's the worst case. They would love it to be sooner, and it may very well be. How long does it take to get your Texit coin? So when you sign up for Texit, right now I'm going to tell you 2 weeks. They are, and you guys can see with the volume that they're doing, shipping is backed up when you're signing up 300 plus people a day. That's a lot of shipping to get out, but give it 2 weeks. It will get there. Details on going through Arizona, pretty simple. Number one, Jason's got his hands full as is with the radio station, the gold company. We got some banking things going on as well that just kind of, and this is something, Jason and I have been talking about this before. I like dealing with Jason in Colorado. It's not like Jason's going away. You know, for some of you out there that, hey, if I really want to do business face-to-face, we get that. But we're just trying to lighten the load and kind of streamline everything so everyone gets processed as quickly as possible. And so that's why this isn't a punishment or anything like this. Is just out of necessity. So we're a lot busier with Texit, and this is the path forward. But Jason's not going anywhere. He's not going away, so don't worry about that. If you guys like doing – and I get it. There's a lot of them. They like doing business face-to-face. We'll always have that option. It's just, look at this show. You think like on Patriot before when Jason was at the other office, right? He was on the whole time. Now it's like he comes on. We're not really sure, a little late, then he's got to disappear, right? I mean, you guys actually can see. If you're on Rumble, you guys can actually see where did Jason go.
Well, let me explain something. The reason it got busy today was Joe made the announcement that Texit is going through at the Arizona office. Joe and I came to an agreement, and through this agreement, it will help all involved. And Joe is not taking Jason's Texit from him. I've got my Texit coin. Everything is fine. Joe has not done a power takeover of the Texit empire at the radio station.
People actually thought that. Are you kidding me, guys? Come on.
So I'm getting hit with calls. Everyone thinks that Joe is just taking Texit away from Jason, and Joe the Barbarian. And don't worry about it. Joe and I work together. We're business partners. We may disagree on some things, but this was something we agreed to. This is going to help everybody. I'm going to be doing Text-It. I'm going to be helping people with Text-It. We're going to work a new situation, which will be beneficial to everybody. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Joe's not going anywhere.
Shame on those people that would think that. That is that is nuts.
All they heard
Jason and I have been partners for a long time, you guys. My gosh. I mean, man.
Oh, my friend Bob. I had several calls and texts, and one was Bob from Aluminum Wire. And he's like, oh,
I love Bob.
Sounds like sounds like Joe's taking over Text-It. And I'm like, what? And so I had to call him. I was like, no. Oh, take it easy.
Believe me, this is something that like Jay said, this is going to be better for everybody. All parties involved. So
I had two banks.
Have no fear.
I had two banks shut down on me in 2 weeks. I mean,
listen,
some things had to change.
Okay, you brought. There you go. The biggest reason why this is happening is Jason's been debanked twice. So I don't know if we wanted to go that far with it, but
we'll get more into it later.
We'll deal with it later.
It is quite the ordeal. One of the callers that calls in, he gave me some pieces of information a few weeks ago. It was interesting. He said this stuff before some of this debanking happened. And the stuff he talks about is real, which is at your local bank, and this has happened. Listen to me. Guy had an issue with Nick. Goes into a room where there's a computer and starts clicking on the computer and then knows everything about the situation and knows everything about the situation at other banks. That is not the bank he's in. Okay, in the second bank, the only thing that I wasn't completely truthful with the new bank that I signed up for was where specifically the money was going after I put it onto Kraken. You know, I collect the money from you guys, the money goes into Kraken, and then it goes to Texacoin. I just omitted. I was like, look, what I'm doing with it, I was like, when I signed up for the bank, it's like, look, I'm going to be bringing in money, and then I'm going to be sending it to crypto because this is where the guy. That's, you know, where I need to put the money. This is where the guy wants crypto. Yes, Bobby Gray wants crypto. That's what he wants. So without mentioning the word Texacoin, in the scant little 10 days I had the account open, when I sat down yesterday and missed the show yesterday, I went past the first person. I told him what I was like. Look, you guys agreed to this. If you want to shut the account, great. I just wish you guys would have been smart from the get-go. Maybe you guys need to be, you guys need to train or whatever. But I got to the second person, not the head person. I talked to everybody at this bank. And I got to the other person, and I told her the same thing. And she's like, well, look at this one for $9,000. Is this crypto investing at Texacoin? Literally. That's what she said, Joe. This is Texacoin investing. She knew. She didn't contact my previous bank. There was no contact between my previous bank and this bank. So it's sitting there, and it tells a lot of things. We'll talk about this. I want to get more information, but it's like, this is why you guys got to do whatever you can to be outside the banking system, because when they want to shut people down, they're going to shut people down, Joe. All I was doing was legal work, and they don't like the legal work I was doing. In their minds, it is not allowed. The first time I tried to do a bank wire to Bobby Gray, and Joe did the same thing. He was instructed to send a bank wire. Joe and I, biggest faux pas ever. We should have never done so. Joe and I should have known better, but we're moving a lot of money. And my bank told me, well, I'm protecting you by denying your bank wire. And that's what they said. They're protecting me. But why don't they protect everybody in Las Vegas and get them off the craps table? Right? Right, Joe?
Uh-oh. Well, or the Wall Street Casino, either one. Listen, coming up, a message from Bobby Gray. 800-951-0592. You've heard from me a bunch of what I get from Bobby. And, the latest being $16. That's not the end. That's the beginning of Text-It. And was it last week? I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. Told you Bobby has the plan for 16 to 100, 100 to 1,000. And I just wanted to share it with you. Jack, let's play Bobby Gray talking about Text-It and where it's heading.
And so what we're doing is we're building a mine. What will happen is that when this mine is built and the seats are gone, the mine will continue operating for probably about another 135 years. And the mine will continue to pay out for another 135 years. So suppose you get the last seat on the rocket ship, and we're able to take this coin to 16, which I think is pretty easy. I've already painted the picture. But suppose we take this thing to 16, and you get the last seat on the rocket. You can't acquire any more hash power because it's sold out. The mine will give you $1.60 per day, plus or minus, for the rest of your life. Now, $1.60 a day is not a lot. For the rest of your life might be a long time. And so there will be an upside in there for you. You know, if you take the $1,000 that you used to buy that last seat on the rocket and divide it by $1.60, you'll get your money back in about 625 days. Not the best ROI you've ever heard of, but hey, not bad. Okay, well, let's talk about two things real quick. Number one, we're not going to 16. 16 is the starting line. 16 is the end of the beginning for us. 16 is that we proved out our concept. 16 is we built the mine. And with the million seats sold and the 100 million mega hash and the $200 million of marketing promotion money and the $100 million of liquidity that we're building up as we get towards that starting line, we call ourselves a $1 billion coin, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be very easy to hold it there. With everything we've got going for us, the community, the mine, everything else. Easy. Foregone conclusion at this point. Guaranteed. Let's not use those words. But the point is we know where we're going. But where we're going is just the starting line. So I want you to understand that it's extremely important to me and very true that I have not just a plan for us to go from 0 to 16, but I also have a plan for us to go from 16 to 100, and another plan after that for us to go from 100 to 1,000. We're not staying at 16. And if I'm right, as I've been pretty good so far on our path to 16, if I'm right and I can take this thing along with you on this journey to $1,000 a coin, and Bitcoin is still 20 plus times larger than we are, that last seat on the rocket ship, it's not worth $1.60 a day. It's worth about $100 a day. And I want you to pinpoint this number in your mind. Okay, I know it still sounds fantastical, right? This whole thing felt impossible a year and a half ago. Look where we are today. Does what happened in the past indicate exactly what's going to happen in the future? No, we're learning, we're adjusting, we're making small changes and improvements as we learn. But if we keep working hard, I think we're going to get there. But look what happens if we get there, because it's a real nice, easy, round number. The last seat on the rocket ship costs you $1,000. It gets you 100 mega hash. If I'm right and I take this thing to $1,000 a coin, 100 mega hash will be worth about $100 a day for the next 135 years. And that is something to actually get excited about. Why? Because $100 a day is enough money to live on for an individual. $100 a day is definitely enough money to live on if you're sitting on the beach in Thailand. But we've shown you an extremely simple path to go from 1 seat to 3 seats. Bring on 3 referrals. Bring on mom, dad, and the coworker, or sister, brother, and friend. If you do that inside the first 30 days, you go from 1 seat, 100 mega hash, to 3 seats, 300 mega hash. And you tell me somebody, some normal American, when we get to $1,000 a coin, you tell me what person would not value a $300 passive income stream for the rest of their life.
There you have it, right? Talking about the future of Texit coin, talking about, passive income, right? This is one of the things that we've talked about it a little bit. I broke it down for everybody last year, or last week, right? Texit tries to return about $4.50 for every 1 seat on the rocket ship, right? For every 1 seat. And just on that math alone, you're talking about numbers where, hey, you know what? Every 6 months, you've made your money back. Every 6 months, right? Hey, every 6 months. I don't care if you put $9.95 in. I don't care if you did the 27 pack, put almost $27,000 in. And it repeats over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, think about this. We got to have meetings. We got to have tax meetings, which we're going to have. We got to have a guy to come in to set up trust and wills and handing things down, right? And passive income where this isn't, oh my gosh, every month you got to keep paying and paying and paying and paying and paying. No. I told you yesterday. That one guy bought a 9-pack in May. Called back up, said, Joe, I've already made my money back. I want to buy another 9-pack with the money, with the Texas coins I've already had. Sure. At the meeting on Wednesday, I'm going to take Texas coin for gold. It's coming. I told everybody, and I've warned you, I made a mistake. I told you the mine would be full by the end of next year. It's going to be full way sooner than that. Way sooner. How soon? I don't know. Right? People are telling me February. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, right, that it's like March or April. May, June, right? Because once the seats in the rocket ship are full, there's nothing left for us to do other than get our coins every day, Jason. There are no more seats to buy. There is no more extra hash to get. Essentially, whatever you've acquired in hash power between now and when the mine is full, that's going to determine what your passive income is going to be. It's just that simple, and at that point, that's all that's going to be left. I hope you decide to join, whether, like I said, whether it's for $995 or whether it's going, hey, I'm going to go with the $26,865 on the 27 pack. 800-951-0592. We're back here. Remember, call and let us know if you're going to be attending tomorrow. I just got a text from my buddy Mike Morris. He's in town. It's happening tomorrow, 5:30 to 8 p.m. Barrio Brewing Company inside the Deer Valley Airport, 7th Street in Deer Valley. We will be showing you how to sell your Texit coin. Breaking news real fast. I got to talk about this. Man, I do not like it. Apparently, the government now, we're becoming more and more fascist. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick just went on CNBC and said that the government must receive an equity stake in Intel in exchange for money already promised to Intel on the CHIPS Act fund. Yeah, looks like the government, Jason, says, hey, Intel, you want the money? We need to be partners in this, and you need to give us equity in your company. We've seen this now a few times with some rare earth miners. Now apparently the government saying, hey, we need equity in Intel. Getting a little creepy. Just getting a little creepy. This is not something you guys should want. I'm telling you that right now, right?
Oh, no. No, that's what a subsidy is. It's the government picking winners and losers. The government giving money to YouTube. Yes, the government gives money to YouTube. The money gives money to Tesla. By the way, the government's given money to every one of Elon Musk's projects all the way back to PayPal. Yeah. So,
giving money's one thing. This is saying we need to own 10% of your company stock.
Remember, at the inauguration, the peanut gallery, all the billionaires. You think the worm, Zuckerberg, you think he really wanted to be there with crazy Trump? No, it was a business decision. He had to be there. You want to be one of the chosen people? You had to be there and show support because, hey, when the markets start to break, we may require some equity. We need some paybacks so that you can continue to be the chosen one, right, Joe? They can choose someone else. Meta's not the only. Facebook isn't the only thing out there, right, Joe? There's other ways. Maybe Trump has his Twitter. He has his Twitter account that he's been using ever since he was banned from Twitter. Remember, Joe? That's him showing Elon Musk, well, we can build our own. We can tell you guys to go away and just build our own. As soon as the government can have somebody else build the same thing, they can choose you out. Those men, a lot of them didn't want to be there in the peanut gallery, were forced to be there, Joe. And when they say Intel, it's time to pay up.
Wow.
Jason, when your bank account needs to be closed, you better not be doing crypto. That's the way it works. This is just how it works, Joe.
Yeah. Now, the Dow lost its gains, but 800-951-0592. Get some Texit. $20 gold pieces, $33.95. $10 pieces, $1,700. This is getting creep. Wow. So just to confirm, Commerce Secretary Lutnick on TV today saying that the money already promised to Intel by the Biden administration's CHIPS Act, that's what built that big plant up there here in Phoenix near the 303. The government now says you need to give us equity in your company, but don't worry, we won't have any voting rights for the equity. So somehow I guess that makes it better.